Hi guys, Gεια σας και καλώς ήρθατε, which means hello and welcome in Greek to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today I'm going to teach you how to make traditional Sfakianes Pites. Sfakianes Pites are basically traditional cheese pies that come from my mom's part of Crete. It's a beautiful village on the mountain of Crete known as Sfakia. These cheese pies are so simple yet so delicious, and once they're done, they're drizzled with honey. I cannot wait till you guys learn how to make these. Let's get started with making the dough. The dough is made with very simple ingredients that you probably already have on hand. We're gonna put some water, 3 tablespoons of vinegar. This is white vinegar, but you could also use lemon juice instead. A 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. This is light olive oil, but in Greece they use the really good quality cold pressed olive oil. Use whatever you have on hand. A little pinch of salt. And I'm just going to whisk the wet ingredients all together. And then to that, I'm going to add, this is 300 grams or 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to add it a little bit at a time. First, it's going to incorporate easily, and then it's going to get thicker, and you're going to want to switch from the whisk or spatula, whatever you're using, to your hands. And we're just going to knead this for about 8 minutes or until it's very soft and elastic. If the dough is a little bit on the drier side, you could add about a tablespoon more of water. And if it's a little bit too wet, you can just add a little bit more flour. So this is a little bit too dry, so I am going to go ahead and add a little bit more water. And that's perfect. It's gotten where it's not too damp, but it's good enough where it's going to be easy to knead. I'm just going to continue to knead this for 8 more minutes. And I prefer to knead it on the counter, so I'm just going to take it out of the bowl and just keep kneading it until it's nice and smooth and elastic. So the dough is really nice and soft and elastic. It's been worked really well. Now at this point, it is very important for the dough to rest. So you want it to rest at room temperature for at least an hour. That's the minimum. If you let it go for an hour, it's going to be perfect. Or you can put this in the fridge covered overnight. You want to put a couple tablespoons of oil in the bowl that the dough is going to go in, and just put it in there and toss it around. It's going to help keep it from forming a skin on top. Then cover the bowl with a clean kitchen towel or some plastic wrap and set it aside for at least an hour. So now it's time to make the pites. I'm going to take the dough out of the bowl and cut it into 4 equal portions. Now if you want to make a big batch of these stay good in the freezer for months. My yaya in Greece, every time I used to visit as a little kid, she used to have them stacked up in the freezer and make at least one a day for us. And this just brings me way back. So they keep really fresh in the freezer, so it's great to have a bunch of these ready to go. I'm just making a small batch today. And we're just gonna roll each portion into a little ball. And then I'm gonna press it out into a circle, just like this. And I'm gonna roll it out about 6 to 8 inches in diameter. This is about 7 inches. That should do. I'm just gonna do each one. I like to do things in steps, so I'm gonna roll them all out first. You don't have to do this. If you're making a huge batch, of course, you don't have to roll them all out because then you won't have room to put them anywhere. And I like to do this first step without any flour. So you just keep turning it as you go. And the filling is very simple. If you can get xynomizithra, which is what I'm using today, you're going to have to find it in a specialty Greek store because you really can't get it anywhere else. Of course, I do have alternatives on the blog post. You're going to have to combine ricotta cheese and some feta, and all the directions are going to be on the post. But if you can find this cheese, it's tangy, it's made of sheep's milk. It's very similar to a very high quality ricotta cheese, but with a lot of personality. It's tangy, it's creamy, it's so delicious. There's really nothing like it. And you want to take a little portion at a time that's going to be the filling, about the size of an egg, and form it into a ball. So since we're making 4 pites right now, 4 pies, I'm going to form 4 balls. And I'm going to put each one on the center. Then you're going to take each piece and you're going to cover it. You're going to cover all the cheese. Make sure that it's totally covered, and then you're going to press it down and get it back into that circular shape. And then you want to have a shallow bowl with some all-purpose flour in there and press it down so that way when we're going to roll it out, it doesn't tear. And you also want to lightly flour your work surface and roll it out to about 6 inches in diameter. As soon as you feel it sticking, you want to put a little bit more flour so that way the pita doesn't tear. And there you have it. The pita is ready. I'm gonna continue making these, and then as soon as they're done, we're gonna pan fry them. You wanna put a non-stick skillet over medium heat so it can get really nice and hot. And then we're gonna move on to the next step. So I have a non-stick skillet heating over medium heat. It's like medium-high heat actually. You don't use any oil or any butter to cook these. And you're gonna cook each one about 3 minutes on each side or until it's nice and golden all around. They should be ready in about 6-7 minutes. So the Sfakianes Pites are ready. Now these are served drizzled with lots and lots of Greek honey. If you can get Greek honey from a local supermarket, make sure you try it and serve it with that because that is just amazing. It's the most authentic thing that you can serve with these. If you can't find it, I will post a link down below with a link to Amazon where you can get it. It's the best honey on earth, trust me. So this really takes me back to my childhood, you guys. I really miss my grandma. I miss being in the village. It is time to take a bite. Slightly crisp on the outside, perfectly cooked. The mizithra is tangy, creamy, and just so delicious. If you can get it, make sure you use it. And that Greek honey, thebomb.com, so good. The recipe, as always, is in the description box down below, as well as on the website, dimitrasdishes.com. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys next time. Yes, us.